När andra ljuset brinner är snart Lucia här. Hon bjuder oss på kaffe och bud om julen bär. Hi, and welcome to part 2 of my Yule and Christmas series. Modern celebrations can actually seem quite dull in comparison to the celebrations of all olden days. Our modern celebrations are over in just a few days, often ending just the day after Christmas, whilst before the celebrations would be ongoing for weeks, not ending until the 13th day, which is a holiday here in Sweden which falls on the 6th January. The celebration was filled with everything from preparations to festivities and mischiefs to solemn devotion. An historian who advised me for this episode phrased it like this: it was quite different from the modern, jumbled together and somewhat misguided celebrations that has been made entirely kid-friendly, but without any real magic, and with special holiday sales to go with it. Today, a lot of people celebrate Christmas with only just their family, which leaves some people behind, whilst before, the door would be open for everyone. You would celebrate Christmas with your neighbors, servants, animals, the garden tomte, the wedders, and the town folk, and it would be celebrated in the church and home, at other people's home, and you would show each other tremendous generosity, but without the Christmas gifts that we today associate so closely with Christmas. They were not a thing yet in the 1800s. Yule was the year's biggest festivity, and you were to be welcoming to those who happened to drop by. Often, the poor would knock on your door the day before Christmas to ask and to receive some bread and sausages, and with any luck, also a little bit of the tasty Christmas beer. You thought of everyone, and during Christmas no one was denied anything. If you had, you would also give. Even the animals were given some extra food during this time, and you would hang out some sheaves of oats for the little birds outside. The dogs and the cats would obviously also receive a little porridge and some fresh milk. Today's Advent poem talks about Lucia, but she does not arrive until next Sunday. This year, Lucia falls exactly on the third Advent, so we'll talk about her in the next episode. In today's episode of my Jul Saga, I thought that I would talk a little bit about the Swedish Jul-tomte, aka our Santa Claus. We have two types of tomtar here in Sweden. There is the Hus-tomte, which is part of our mythology and is known since the 1300s. The Hus-tomte served as sort of a house god or spirit for farmers and for country folks in the olden days. He took care of the house and of the farm in exchange for some minor sacrifices like foods and drinks. On Christmas, it was known that you were to give your Hus-tomte some porridge with a rich slab of butter as salary for his hard work during the year. There are a lot of different nations who actually have these types of house spirits guarding their home, notable examples being the Russian domovoi and the German Heinzelmännchen. I'm sorry, probably not pronouncing that correct. And then there is the Jul-tomte, who is a strange creature indeed, with his most obvious influence being the Sinterklaas and Saint Nicholas, but who is also shaped by our Swedish Jul-tomte or Hus-tomte. Today, he is mostly known as being the bringer of gifts, a jolly man with a big white beard, while the Hus-tomte of our older traditions is not depicted as such. He is depicted as being a small, little grumpy old man, and you were supposed to bring him gifts on this day, not the other way around. I thought that for this second advent that we would make a pepparkakshus, a gingerbread house, and also bring some porridge to this tomte, this Jul-tomte. Although it's not quite Christmas yet, I'm sure that he won't mind an extra treat. Hi! So I'm sorry if the setting here is gonna be a little bit weird. It was a little hard to set up the camera right. So we actually assembled the gingerbread house yesterday. My friend Niels helped me and my boyfriend helped me, and they made the template for it and helped me build it. You can just buy easy, like already made pieces, but I made the dough and then we made the individual pieces and then we put it together. So we did it the hard way. And I was stupid. I didn't get like a lot of film from that, but I have some footage of it at least. So I haven't actually done this before. My family, we usually just focus on making the little gingerbread men and the little ginger snaps. We do that every year, but the gingerbread house I haven't done before. So this is gonna be interesting. And I do like to paint and stuff, but doing like these crafty things I've never been very good at, so wish me luck. I've seen people do like patterns on the ceiling, so I think that's where I'm gonna start. And this is something, I mentioned that in my last video, that all of the Christmas things that I'm doing are not going to be strictly just Swedish, and this is definitely one of those things that I think is kind of international. The gingerbread man is a very typical Christmas symbol. I think we just make them a little bit different maybe, or have more of a tradition of making them ourselves. I don't know, I could be wrong. Oh wow, that is... That's not very even, is it? That's fine. This is the first time I'm doing this. Please be kind. Like I said, this is not strictly Swedish, but this is something that a lot of us do on Advent. I think it's typical to make one on the first Advent, I'm not sure. I don't think you have to have a specific date. Bought some M&Ms. Well, this is non-stop, but they're the same thing. It's been really interesting researching about our Christmas traditions. Sweden is known for perpetuating the idea that we don't have much of a culture. It's kind of a meme here in Sweden. But reading about Christmas and reading about especially like our older traditions pertaining to Christmas has been really, really interesting. We have a lot of folklore, I think you call it. How's that? Should this be the front of the house, maybe? Actually, I thought it was going to be harder to write and to decorate with this. You see that that's a door handle. Does that look like curtains? I don't think it does. But I think I'll have to do it on the other side now too. Oh my god. I looked at gingerbread house inspiration yesterday. Because I don't know, I don't think I learned anything. This does not look like curtains. Oh my god. I'm not crafty enough to do these kinds of things. Let's put a little heart up here. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's not a heart. No. No. Oh no. That's not at all what I wanted. That looks awful. Can't do this. This is a disaster. Actually, I thought it was going to be harder. Maybe I shouldn't even focus on the sides.
A few moments later.
So this is the end result. It looks a little bit like the work of a 9-year-old, which I guess is fitting since this is something that you are supposed to do with your children. At the end of Christmas, your kids can break up the house and eat the candy, if it hasn't been standing there too long, that is. Another thing that you can do with your children is to invite a sense of magic to this holiday by giving your tomte porridge. This is a tradition that we've had for a long time here in Sweden, and some people still practice this, but it's not as widespread these days. This is sort of the equivalent of leaving a tray of cookies and fresh milk in front of the chimney for Santa, as I know is a tradition in the North America. Our ancestors would put the porridge underneath the ward tree where some said that the tomte lived, or they would put it in the barn. Thank you so much for watching this video and for tuning in to my Christmas series. I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!